Ooh, look at how nice and clean. Damn, baby. Dang. Very nice.
Don't run away, run away. Up on the mountain, I see down below. It's easy to lose yourself, I know.
What's going on, guys? It's Matt, back again, another video. And as you can tell by the title of this video, it's should you buy a cold air intake for your vehicle? Whether it's your F-150, your Mustang, your Civic, your Corolla, whatever the case may be. So just real quickly, let's just pop the hood to show you my cold air intake on my car. Thank you, hood struts, for not making that harder than it should be. Oh, over here, what am I doing over there? Well, here it is. My cold air intake is an Air Raid. It's a dry filter, not the oiled one. And what I'm going to talk about today is, should you spend the money on a cold air intake? So why do people purchase cold air intakes? Well, companies, they market them and they say that cold air intakes are going to make their throttle response better. It's gonna let the engine breathe better. It's gonna give you massive horsepower gains. It's gonna make your car faster, whatever the case may be. That's why people buy cold air intakes. Now, a lot of times on modern cars, like this one, although it's a 2014, they come with stock air boxes, which are not all too bad. The performance on the stock air box is still really good, and it does just as good, if not better, than an aftermarket cold air intake. Now, why do I say that the stock air box is just as good, or if not even better, than an aftermarket cold air intake? Well, as you can see, I have an open filter. There's no box, there's nothing on it. It's just sucking in all the air. And this can be a bad thing. Like where I live in West Texas, summer temps can get really high. Sometimes we'll break 115 degrees on some days, and that's no good. For performance wise, that's not good. You don't want hot air, and especially since I have headers, the engine bay gets really hot, and this intake actually sucks in a lot of hot air, and that's not good. So why am I saying that a stock air box is fine, if not better, than a aftermarket cold air intake? Well, when you buy a cold air intake by itself, I believe the stock air box will do just fine and probably outperform a cold air intake. But when you buy a cold air intake, you also want to buy the mods that go with it, like a bigger throttle body, ported intake manifolds, and etc. Because it doesn't really do any justice to allow more airflow through to the engine and not get that air out, if that makes any sense. So let me go ahead and show you an example. It's a similar concept. Yes, I'm in my bathroom, by the way. But, okay. So imagine this faucet as your cold air intake, the one you just bought. You spend $300-400 on your cold air intake. Alright? And picture this water as the air going through to your engine, which is the drain. So as you can see, you're allowing more airflow, but it's not going anywhere. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's not doing its job the way it's supposed to be. So as you can see, it's the same concept. You can only suck in so much air and let out so much air. So if you're going to be sucking in more air, it's not going to do any good if you don't have an upgraded throttle body, ported intake manifolds, etc, 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 upgraded exhaust, and so on. So I know what some of you might be saying. Matt, why do you have a cold air intake? Why are you telling us all this stuff, but you don't have an upgraded throttle body? You don't have all these upgraded mods. Well, see, I got this cold air intake like 3 years ago, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. If I can go back, I would not have purchased this cold air intake. I would have saved the $300 that I spent on this cold air intake and spent it elsewhere. And if I was gonna get another cold air intake, I would get one with a box, so that way my intake air temps are not as high as they are. So the reason I'm making this video is I get a lot of DMs on my Instagram asking, Matt, what cold air intake should I get? What mod should I do? I'm thinking about getting a cold air intake. Which one should I get? I'm getting a cold air intake. I'm getting a cold air intake. That's what a lot of people always tell me. And I usually tell them, don't do it, man. Save your money. Keep your stock air box. Because a lot of times, these people, I tell them, are you going to upgrade your throttle body? Are you going to port your intake manifold? And a lot of times they'll say, no, not anytime soon. So I say, save your money. Spend it elsewhere. I also get asked the question, did I feel any gains from my cold air intake? And it's a big, fat, hell no. I didn't feel jack squat when I put this cold air intake on my car. Throttle response, Not really, not anything too noticeable, to be honest. So Matt, if these cold air intakes don't do all the things you just said, why do they advertise that they gain 20, 30 horsepower when you just install a cold air intake? Well, a lot of times if you read the fine print on these cold air intakes and the way they advertise them, it'll say paired with a tune. And a lot of times when you pair it with a tune, all that power gains is coming from mainly just the tune. You're not really getting anything from the cold air intake. It's mainly you're just getting that power from the tune. So if you just tune your car with the stock airbox, you'll get the same power. So I know what some of you are thinking. Are there any perks to having a cold air intake without having anything else? Just the cold air intake? To be honest, not really, unless you're just going for looks. And the main thing that I do like about this cold air intake, there is one thing I do like about it, other than the fact that it's blue. It makes a good sound. It made the engine roar a little more, if that makes any sense. And it makes cool noises. But other than that, not really, you know, it's not worth the money in my opinion. So what did we learn today, kids? Well, in conclusion, keep your stock airbox, because what these cold air intake companies are asking for, it is simply not worth it. $300, $400, I've even seen like $500, maybe even $600 cold air intakes, not worth it. So don't spend the money, because for that $400, not worth it. But that's gonna pretty much wrap up this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Any comments, any questions, any concerns? You wanna say, Matt, you're a fucking idiot? Go ahead and comment down below. I don't give a shite. But go ahead, drop a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. Please, just pretty please. But yep, that's gonna wrap up this video. Drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I see the empty dreams race across the sky.